Hey y'all, it's Nikki. Welcome to another episode of the WERKin Mommas podcast. It is Thursday, May 9th, 2019, and I am recording this podcast from beautiful wine country, Sonoma County, California. I am here for the fourth um, circular summit powered by HelloAlice. And I just can't even find the words to describe the level of epicness that took place today. I mean, the fact that we are in Sonoma, in wine country, as the venue, if that tells you anything about the dopeness that happened already, and this is only day one. So if you're not familiar with HelloAlice, is an organization that was started by Elizabeth Gore and Carolyn Rods. The goal is to connect female founders to the resources, whether it be the people, the capital, whatever, that they need to scale their businesses. And there are women of all ethnicities here, excuse me, from all over the world with some billion-dollar innovative ideas. And I mean, the training wheels are off. Nobody's playing small out here. Like I said, these are billion-dollar ideas, women looking to take their businesses to the next level. This is the fourth year of Circular Summit, and it's unlike any other conference, seminar, workshop, or symposium that I've attended. Typically with these type of events, you sit in a ballroom, you listen to multiple people speak, you have lunch, maybe a couple of breakout sessions, talk to a few other attendees, chop it up for a few minutes, and then you get back to your seat because now the second half of speakers is happening. You don't really get the FaceTime with them to dig into some of the challenges that you're experiencing. You may get to ask them a question during a Q&A, but when it's over with, and if you really want to talk to them about something deeper, then you probably have to stand in line behind 50 other people just to try to get 30 seconds with that person. So the fact that we had the chance to talk informally, talk side by side with female founders who their businesses are where we aspire for our businesses to be. I mean, to be hiking along the Pacific coast while I'm carrying on the conversation with a woman who has raised tens of millions of dollars for her startup. Being able to get solid, no fluff advice from somebody who's where I'm trying to be. Anybody that knows me knows I constantly say, I am not going to put sugar on shit. Miss me with the fluff, save all of that, respect everybody's time. It just makes things a lot easier. So we took this 3 mile hike around Bodega Bay. It kind of reminded me of the Sea of Cortez in Cabo, Lovers Beach, or is it Lovers Rock? I think it's Lovers Beach, but it kind of reminded me of that where you have these just waves crashing against the rocks, but it's so just zen and serene at the same time. That was the adventure that I chose to take. Other women went horseback riding, wine tasting, cheese making, some distillery tours. There might have been like a cannabis tour. Some women went rafting on the river. Kudos to y'all because it was cold as shit up here today. So that was just not going to work for me. But I mean, being able to just talk straight up and down with mentors, with women who can empathize with where we are with the states of our businesses. And there were no questions that were off limits. I mean, I'm talking to this mentor and fellow founder to say, tell me about your business and what type of issues did you run into in the beginning, and how did you find your VCs, and how do you get your products to your customers? Are you a direct to consumer type of business, or is there some other methodology or supply chain methods that you have, and how much money have you raised, and what's the end goal for your business? Tell me about how what you've done can help me in my business. And then they're asking you questions. Well, what are you trying to do? What is your business? Um, what stage are you in your business? So just to get all of this just unsolicited, well, I won't say unsolicited, but unfiltered insight and feedback from these women, and to be able to do so in a setting that we're able to peel back all of the formal shit that usually comes along with these types of events. I mean, I'm just getting back to my room. Everybody has been in yoga pants all day. Yoga pants, hoodies, puffer jackets, gym shoes, hats. I mean, we've been out, we've been in nature, we've been just kind of ripping and running, getting dirty, sitting on the ground, talking, laughing, drinking wine. I mean, typically it's you're in a business suit and you're talking face to face, and you have to hurry up and say what you have to say because there's 20 or 30 other women in line behind you who's still trying to get 30 seconds with this one person. So to be able to do that in this setting, a non-traditional conference type of setting, it just felt like you were not talking to a person that you just met 2 hours ago. You were talking to somebody who gets it, who understands, and who is willing to share their experiences with you to help you get to where you're trying to go. So, I mean, that's just the speakers, the mentors, the people that are here to pour into us. Even with the other attendees, there are women here who are looking for advice, and there are women who are giving advice. I'm doing this podcast right now because I had women that I had met maybe 10 or 15 minutes prior to us sitting down and having an in-depth conversation that are like, what are you waiting on? Why are you just sitting on your podcast episodes? Like, why don't you put them out? Your expertise as a CPA in the accounting space, specifically for small businesses, we need that. We're looking for that. And we're also looking for it from someone who we can relate to, somebody that looks like us, and somebody who is going to break this shit down in layman's terms for us so we can make sense of it. And I shared my story with them. Like, I have 47 podcast episodes that I wrote in my phone, but I've never recorded them for whatever reason. And I think that in itself is going to be a whole nother podcast episode. But I just had so many obstacles that I put in my own way about why I wasn't doing this. Well, what about my voice? And they're like, girl, I can listen to you talk all day. Like, I love your voice. You have a voice for a podcast. And then your authenticity. My other excuse, my other challenge that I put in my own way was that, okay, I can blog about some stuff. I can get on the podcast and talk about accounting and the CPA exam and my life as a working mother and a female entrepreneur and trying to do all this stuff to make everything work in my life. And I'm like, what am I doing? Okay, well, I'm not going to do the podcast because that means I have to edit my episodes. And it doesn't mean I have to edit my episodes. Like I said, I am a busy working mama running multiple businesses. I have a husband. I have a household. I have 2 children. And I live an unedited life. I don't have time to say what I want to say and then go back and make it sound good, because my goal is to get out a message and educate entrepreneurs and tell them what they need to know about their businesses. So again, I think I'm just going to do a whole separate podcast about that because I can go on and on and on about that. But the fact that I got on several different occasions today, I got this, I guess this validation or more like a confirmation that I was on the right track and that I should just keep going down that track and doing what I want to do. So I love that there were some mutually beneficial relationships today. Some people asked me for some accounting advice about their business, some tax advice across multiple industries, doing so many different things as female entrepreneurs. And I was so happy just to tell them that. Like, okay, if your financials are not intact, here are some things that you need to do. If you're working on your business plan and you're trying to get that financial projections piece together, then let's look at some things. Let's talk through some things. So trying to help them in whatever way that I can, because they were really helping me get to the point where I stopped putting obstacles in my own way. So whole nother podcast, but I mean, today was just everything. It's May. We're almost halfway through the year, and I have enough gems from this one conference to make moves and finish strong for all of 2019. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here. We spent the day at the Kendall Jackson family estate. Like, damn, like y'all have hosted us all day. We've learned a lot. We drank a lot of wine. We had a lot of fun. It was amazing. Just some amazing women. I mean, the founder of Urban Decay, Wendy, was here, and we had Melissa. I cannot think of Melissa's last name. Melissa Bradley, I think. It'll come to me in a second. But I mean, just some heavy hitting speakers and influencers and founders to really make this thing just go. It was just such an amazing day today. And I just, I have to stop and just say that Elizabeth and Carolyn are just such a vibe. I mean, creating this environment for us to be our authentic selves, not assimilating into some corporate culture that's the total opposite of you anyway, being confident enough in yourself to push your ideas forward and being unapologetic about it. And Elizabeth had this colorful plaid duster on that was so beautiful. And I'm like, damn, I love that. I mean, just their energy, the way that they inspired us today, the execution was second to none. It was just an amazing day. And I'm certain that day two will be just as amazing. I'm literally still in awe of all of this and trying to take it all in. When I was on my way here, I was planning on getting all of my pictures, of course, which I did, but I wanted to make sure I took my Insta stories and did all this other stuff. And it got to a point where I just had to put my phone down and say, look, I have to be present in this. I'm trying to soak all of this up right now. And of course, I'll put some things on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, but I have to make sure that I am here, that I am taking all of this in, that I am receiving it and not getting caught up in trying to make it available to the world via social media. So, I mean, no disrespect to y'all. I love y'all, but sometimes you're in such an amazing space amongst some great people that sometimes you just got to put your phone down and connect and just have those conversations and learn some things. I mean, there is nothing like a tribe of like-minded women who are cheering for you and helping you to realize your dreams. So I am going to continue with my episodes. I'm going to put them out and I hope that they will be fruitful for all of you. I mean, I'm going to talk about a lot of different things. Of course, I'll talk about the CPA exam and passing that and helping candidates get over the hump with that. But I'm also going to talk about my life as a female entrepreneur, as a mompreneur, and running multiple businesses and how to deal with all that. But then I'm a mother. I have two kids. There's always something going on. There's always something for me to do. Even when I feel like my calendar is cleared, my kids have a calendar that's just as busy as mine. So even if it's like, okay, my afternoon is clear, but not really because I got football practice or I got piano lessons or I got gymnastics or I need to run to Target real quick and get a poster board for school or I need to go to the grocery store because the kids are mad because we're out of snacks. I mean, there's just always something for me to be doing. And this podcast is a way for me to share with y'all some of those things that if you're a mother or you're trying to get your business off the ground or you're really trying to thrive even in your corporate role, I like to talk about leadership and branding and how to really kill it at work and why sometimes you need to manage your manager if you're that 9 to 5 corporate employee. So I look forward to engaging with y'all a lot more and sharing more tips and knowledge and things that y'all are asking me for because I had so many people today tell me that they need my expertise, that they want to hear what I have to say, that it's helpful to them in their business. So I'm gonna take that fire that was lit under me today and run with it and really try to give y'all what I can give via this podcast. So I thank you all for listening and tuning in. It's 11 o'clock Pacific time right now. My body is still on Eastern time, so really it's 2 a.m. to me and my body. So I am going to get some rest. I just had to do this podcast today. I just felt it in my bones. And I look forward to connecting with y'all. So I'm at Nick Winston on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Medium, which are my top three. So follow me on there, NikkWinston. I will add some links and some other helpful information in the show notes for y'all. But I thank y'all for listening, and I will see you next time.